Thanks very much, Paul, for doing this. How are you, and how
Yeah,
are you coping with the lockdown?
well, I'm good to see you, Mark, by the way. And yeah, I'm coping all right, man. I've been doing writing some lyrics for some fans. Done few ones for the nurses and all like that, but don't keep that quiet. And been working on a song with a very famous rock artist that I've worked with as a collaborator. But I don't want to talk about that until it comes out. This week, Wednesday and Thursday night, I'm working with Tim Burgess, who I've known from a singer of Charlotte. And obviously, I've known Tim since '95, so we had one of the most rock and roll tours I've ever been on. I can't tell you the stories. I think there might be one or two in his book, but yeah, we had some good times. So I'm doing a double header, doing an hour Attack of the Grey Lantern, 9 o'clock Wednesday, and an hour 6 Thursday night on Twitter. So just key in Tim's hashtag, or just follow my Twitter at Paul Draper Official, or follow at Manson Band, or just find us and join in and that. Put the record on, get yourself a drink, and we're there to just entertain people really while we can't get on the road.
It's really took off, Tim Burgess listening parties on Twitter. I mean, there's some great albums, and it's been getting a great following.
Yeah, well, the thing is, he used to do his morning banger, and Tim's been big on Twitter for a while, so he uses that platform to communicate with his fans a lot. And I think he definitely didn't do it as a gimmick; he was doing it already. You know what I mean? It was like, and it's just when everyone became lonely, and he was just people just started joining in, listening to albums. It just took off now. I mean, he's got Duran Duran on it now. It's like everyone's doing it now.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a really great thing that he's done, Plus, he's added about like 70,000 people to his Twitter account, so
Not bad.
He's a clever guy as well. But no, very altruistic. He must have put a lot of time in it
Mm-hmm.
But it's great. It's really good. I've listened to a few listening parties as well. And it can really turn an artist around. Like, he had a John Shuttleworth album on the other night, which was just viewed as a little comedy record, but it's actually a great, funny record, you know what I mean? So I think he's very careful about what records he gets on.
And what else have you been doing during lockdown? Have you been listening to podcasts?
I've been catching up with a lot of albums I haven't listened to. Been running a lot, as you can tell. So getting me weight down. I've got to be down to 12 stone for my big tour next year. And I've been working on my solo album too. My second solo album, Cult Leader Tactics, was supposed to be out September or October. And then my tour was like November, but it's all had to be put back, So it's coming out in February now with my tour, where I'm going to do my solo album and the sixth album in total. Like, I'm going to do it like, an old school review where I do a full hour of my solo stuff, and then I'm going to have an intermission where everyone can go and have a drink and that, and then come back, and I'm going to play the Manson 6 album in full. So it'll be like a 3.5 hour show. So it's a lot of work, man. That's why I'm out there training. That's why I look a bit flushed.
About the second album, what's the progression from Spooky Action, your debut album? Is there a different sound, or what are you talking about lyrically?
Lyrically, yeah. Well, Spooky Action is just me getting my literally venom out against the other 3 members of Manson. About the split of the band and that, because I wrote the lyrics quite a long time ago, and I was obviously, when Manson split, I was still signed to Parlophone, and I was called in quite regularly by Miles, the head of Parlophone, to do my solo album. But by 2007, man, it was just, everything was just the Killers and this, that, and the other, and I just threw the towel in on it. And I just thought, I'm never going to be a solo artist. So I thought I'd do production. So I did set up my own studio in London, which I loved doing. I'm a studio person. Like, I mean, that's my hobby. I'm a studio hog, so I'm just as happy, soldering a patch bay together as I am singing on stage at Manson. So I set my studio up in London, And I started producing a few artists in there, and I rented it out through, it was a company in London called Moloko. They rented it out to all the record companies. So I had John Legend in there, quite a few bands, Slaves. What was that girl band that were all a bit angry? Not Girls Aloud. Can't remember. They were like an angry girl band. Not a girl band, like a band with girls in it. But who else do we have in? Oh, Bits of Depeche Mode, Leona Lewis. Kylie Minogue was in one day. She didn't like the smell of the stairs though. It was weird. She put like a stair BO spray in with her, and she sprayed the stairs, so it smelled like a house when she came out the stairs. But I like the smell of it so much. I asked her engineer, where does she get that? Where does she get that spray? He said Liberties. So I got up on the tube and I went up to Liberties and I got myself some. So I'm sitting in my living room now, and I smell like Kylie Minogue's boudoir.
Just reminds you of the Sirs.
Yeah, even though I don't look like I belong in Kylie Minogue's boudoir unless I was robbing it. But yeah, so yeah, she has this very specific. If I told you what it was, or if she told it what it was, they'd sell a fortune. But yeah, she was interesting. We had Scott Walker in the studio as well, doing his penultimate album. We had a great time actually. We worked with a lot of great artists. We worked with that producer Son, the dance artist. He worked in there a lot. Ollie Murs was in there a lot doing his pop stuff. You know that?
Yeah.
All that dance he does. How can you make 10 million quid out of doing that? Every time I do that on the high street, people think I'm mad. But if you do it in front of Simon Cowell, 10 million quid in the bank, man.
Yeah. Well, you eventually got around to doing Spooky Action. I mean, it did take a long time, and there was a huge demand for the fans. And then when it did come out, it was pretty successful, especially in the album charts and the vinyl album charts. Isn't that right?
Yeah, it was like top 20 album and top 5 vinyl chart and all like that. And I don't think anyone expected it to be that successful. We didn't market it or anything, you know. We didn't go on tour. We just had to like throw some dates in quick, and then we put some dates in, and they just sold out, and it just went on from there really. And then I thought, let's go out and do a big tour. It's the 21st anniversary of Attack of the Grey Lantern, but I don't want to be, you know, part of the Britpop all-stars world, and I don't want to be a nostalgia act. So I just thought I'll do 2 sets. So I did my own set of all my own stuff, and then 20 minutes, have a sherry, come back on, did the whole of Grey Lantern. I've never seen as many middle-aged bald men crying in a room since Man United lost the FA Cup final in '74. And you were there, weren't you, Mark? Sorry, mate. I know you're way younger than that. And you've got a full head of hair.
Yes, I do, actually, yeah. Thanks for noticing. Well, you were saying when the new album goes out and you're going to do 6 on tour as well. I mean, surely that's going to be impossible to do live, because it's such an intricate and detailed and deep album with so many twists and turns.
Well, you got to remember, when in Manson we played off the album live anyway, and then when we did the Six Festival at Port Merion, and we did a little warm-up show, we played 4 of the songs with my band. So when we take it, we'll do it. I've been working on it, honestly. We've been working on it. I've had Scott, my engineer, here, and we've got everything. We've got a lot of computer pedal triggering sounds, and the whole thing's going to be live, but it'll blow you away when you hear it.
I'm looking forward to it.
Ben, but at the minute we've got, you know, my guitarist Ben Sink, Ben Wizard, playing guitar on it, and he knows all the parts, man. So it's going to sound good. But, you know, we're not going to go to massive venues or anything, because I want to tour later in the year as well and jump up the venues. So we'll, I think tickets are going to be pretty scarce, so look out for them. I know we could do really big venues doing 6, but we're just going to keep it super cool.
Yeah, you're talking about live touring next year for 6 and the new album. What way do you think that the coronavirus is going to affect live touring and performing in the future?
Well, all I can say is it's just put everything back now. So I won't get any festival appearances next year, because all the festivals next year are just going to be what's on the festivals this year. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I'm going to go out April. My solo album's coming out, I think 14th or 17th of Feb. That's called Cult Leader Tactics. It's all about how to make it to the top in your church. It's a book, actually. It's like getting a free CD with a self-help book about how to become the best in your field by being a massive cunt. And there's different chapters on how you can do it, and it's really broad, man. It's for everyone. It's not like an elitist book. It's from the meek right through to the psychopath. It's like a manual of how to do it. It's every time I've ever been screwed over in the music industry, I've just written it down and just made a book out of it. And so hopefully, but it's funny. It's not supposed to be serious. It's a funny record, but I would put it in the bracket of Attack of the Grey Lantern. You know what I mean? It's a bit of tongue in cheek, but a bit dark as well.
And when can we expect to hear anything from that? Any tracks, singles?
Oh, before Christmas.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, we would have been gone with the first single would have been out now if it hadn't been for the obviously COVID-19. But yeah, before Christmas and that, and then we're going to go with the album February, and then the tour April. But the tour's not as big as you think it's going to be. So my manager's thoughts is just to build up demand, because we're going to go back out on the road in November and do a really big tour. But I can't tell you anything about it. There's a few rumours going around, but I think people are going to really want to come to this November tour.
Cool. Will you be touring the whole of the UK and Europe?
We're only doing 4 dates to start with.
Good.
But they're big dates. They're all like 3,000 dates, so. But yeah, really looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to the April dates and the November dates. The summer, because last year everyone's just moving their festival dates, we're going to be off to the Far East doing, we've got Taiwan going mad for it, Hong Kong one, so hopefully they'll be opening up as well. Singapore, maybe United Arab Emirates, maybe Dubai, definitely Australia. I'm going over to Australia this time, definitely. If my mate Jimbo's watching, Jimbo, you better pick me up at Brisbane Airport, mate. I'm telling you. So Australia, obviously we've been China. We've gone massive in China, but that's because Manson was big in Hong Kong, you see. So it's a bit like a relationship between, say, where you are in England. If something breaks in England, it'll break in Scotland, Wales, Northern Ireland, the other territories. So we were really big in Hong Kong, like arena level. So when I went to China, it was just bonkers, man. It was just bonkers. But yeah, we're going to go back with the full band, and I'm going to do Japan as well. I think we're going to do Osaka and full band and 2 big shows in Tokyo.
Well, coming
Whereas last time I went, I just did acoustic stuff last time I was in Japan and that, but still did like 11 shows. But we'll do these will be much bigger shows,
Mm-hmm. Well, coming next, you have this here record, Dead Flowers, album for 6, which was originally released on Record Store Day, but it's been put back till June. Is that right?
Yeah. Well, as far as I know, it's that's our Record Store Day record, and as far as I know, it's Record Store Day still on for June 20th. So let's hope the government count record stores to open along with Mothercare and all like that, and we'll be on, man. We'll be on doing it. And so yeah, it's out then. It's only a limited edition. Like everything we do, it's only limited editions. I think they just want to keep the prices up, because Manson records are very valuable on the second-hand market, as you know. Mm-hmm. The Spooky Action box sets, 250 quid now? An original 6 copies, like 160 quid. It's like, but we're reissuing everything so everyone can get a copy. But this is our first issue with this, which is the other album I made when I did 6. We did 2 albums worth of material. And this is the other stuff that I always had in my mind, that one day I'd release an album. And luckily, when I was selling off the Manson catalogue, because of the European Commission anti-trust rules or whatever, I spoke to a lot of labels who wanted to buy it. And this label that I work with, K-Scope, they're very caring about the catalogue, so they knew this was something I really wanted to do, which was to release this record. So this is its first release. It's limited edition, so if you want it, man, queue it up early at the records shop. I think it's one of our best records. It's better than Little Kicks, put it that way. And the fourth one we didn't finish off, so I can't tell you yet.
Well, I mean,
It's
it
a
is a great album.
It's a quirky album.
It's more direct. It's probably the most direct Manson album, apart from maybe Little Kicks.
Yeah. It's very direct, very short, very sharp, bit new wavy. It's got some good songs on it, man. When the Wind Blows, Trains Run on Time, Been Here Before, What It's Like to Be Hated. Some of my favourite songs that we ever did are on it, you know.
Yes, it's a great album, and you know it must have took a lot out of you. I mean, as I said before,
Six
is a very complex. Yeah, Six is a very complex record as a standalone album, but you were recording the Dead Flowers Reject alongside it. You know.
Yeah, the thing is, some of the songs on you'll know it because you've listened to it, but some of the songs on Dead Flowers are better than some of the songs on Six, which sounds stupid, really, but the Six songs just glued together as a thing. So you can't just like dip into. You have to sit down and listen to Six as an album. And in this day and age where everything's just homogenized singles, I think that's great. You know, Six has just grown with time. I mean, we re-released it on vinyl last year, and it just smashed it. And went straight to #1 in the vinyl charts. You know what I mean? Even went in the top 40. You know, so people are liking it better now than they did. I don't think anyone understood it at the time, or I think the band wanted to sack me and so they could be a bit more like Cast and be a bit more poppy. But you know, I think people understand the record a bit more.
It's one of Tom York's favorite Manson albums, isn't that correct?
I'm not sure. I've known a few of the guys from Radiohead for a long time. I know Ed was very appreciative of Attack of the Grey Lantern. I know when he won the Q Award for OK Computer Album of the Year, he said, like, you know, Attack of the Grey Lantern was the artistic achievement of the year. And I've heard a few other things like that, but I don't know a lot about Radiohead. I mean, we'd be in studios with them and that, and you know, they'd have a listen to what we were doing and stuff. And but Ed always seemed like a nice guy. Colin was a nice guy. Johnny's very quiet, and Tom's quiet as well. But they were all nice guys. They were all nice guys, actually. Yeah. Well, I've been mixing a lot of live material, to be honest with you, and I've just finished off mixing Manson live at Brixton Academy, which we actually filmed. We only filmed it on video cameras, but we had a great edit done of it, and it looks fantastic. So we got a full Manson the movie. Don't know if you've seen ABBA the movie, but it's nowhere near as bad as that. There's no one from Neighbours in it.
And what way will that
actually, I'm not sure.
Blu-ray?
Actually, maybe there's definitely no one from Neighbours in it. But but that's coming out this year. I can't tell you in what context because we're working on a mega project, which is just taking. Oh man, it took us. We mixed 4 live albums that we'd had in the EMI vaults on multi-tracks. Me and P-Dub. Took us 3 months, and that was just working on the bass. And sorry, that was an in joke. But we've dug out a lot of unreleased tracks. A lot of alternative versions, and it's and I've been working on a book as well. So I can't really tell you what it's about, but you probably put it together there. But I'm just not allowed to say. I don't know why. I don't know what the problem is, but there's something really good coming out this year. Definitely this year, yeah. And I'll probably go and do a few acoustic shows to promote it, but after that, pretty much that major project will be focusing on my second solo album, Cult Leader Tactics, which is a book. Really, it's not a record. You know, when you buy like a self-help book, Think Yourself Fatter, Think Yourself Thinner, or something, or The Holy Blood or a Holy Grail, or one of these books that idiots believe and stuff. And so mine's called Cult Leader Tactics: How to Make It to the Top of Your Chosen Profession by Being a Massive Bastard.
No, looking forward to hearing that. Definitely.
Yeah, it's got loads of chapters in it, man. Everyone, for everyone. And then there's I just give a free audio CD away with it. That's like a bit like a Paul McKenna thing. You know, if you've listened to Paul McKenna, it's like, you know, you will not be hypnotized. You will go into a state of trance, and just listen to this. And then in one ear it goes, put this in the left ear. And then it goes, just be a massive cunt. And the other ear just goes like, just be the best person. Step into the best person you can be. And that person's just a massive bastard. Shit all over everybody, and you get right to the top. Just lie into people's eyes and don't ever hesitate. It's just, it's great, man. It's really good. It's a parody of the self-help book world, realistically. You know, I know I'm having a joke about it, but I make funny records. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Street Action was a funny record.
No, well, it probably wasn't, but you know, apart from maybe
I had a lot hurt to get out then, but I'm not hurt anymore. I've got too much work to do.
Apart from maybe Little Kicks, all your albums have been.
Well, that was a record company record. Little Kicks was forced upon me by the record company. They said, if you don't stop making your crazy, stupid records, we're going to drop you. You've got to have universal lyrics, no segues, and all this. I got a few little digs in the matter, but you know, it wasn't my record. That was. I think Dominic Chads was the main man in the band then, and he run the show, and I was told he was happy with it. So I don't know whether he was or not, but I wouldn't tour it or do any interviews or anything. I thought it was a piece of shit. But I'm going to redo that album at some time, but not with my production. I'm going to take the songs and do it properly.
Thanks for doing this here, Paul, and I wish you all the best with Dead Flowers Reject and whatever's coming up this year with Manson Project and your second solo album in the new year. So stay safe.